DownHome Sports, a look into Ellis County High School sports brought to you by Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be, located in Midlothian, and Doe City Pizza and Burgers over in
We see the future in her. And as she grows, bonds are bigger. Lessons are learned. We plan for her future with those we trust. So when the day comes and she's ready to soar, she'll do it knowing there's always someone there. Pinnacle Bank, not just a bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.
I would like to welcome in from the Midlothian Panthers soccer teams, both men and women's, Senior Mariah Griffin and Juan Martinez. Thank y'all so much for taking time out of your evening to jump on here with us. Mariah, we'll start with you. This will be a question for both of you, but we'll do ladies first. Seeing as y'all were in the middle of a season, just about ready for a playoff push last year, and things kind of went kaput. How does it feel to be back out there and actually be a part of a season now, even in your senior year, that you'll get to go through and you'll get to complete?
It feels great, and just like knowing what this team is capable of and just getting back out there and doing how we were last year, just honestly feels really great.
Well, Juan, kind of same thing to you, but getting to see those seniors who lost out on the rest of their season, now you are a senior. Does it make you look at it in a different light, add a new perspective? How are you taking this senior season?
I'm taking it bittersweet. Like I'm glad that it's here and that we get to play, but sad that it's ending.
Well, I got to know, as some kids, some young adults who are getting to play under Coach Austin Guest, who got his 600th win. I'm going to ask you, Mariah, because I've asked Tater, I've asked some other people in Midlothian, hey, was the 600th win in the boys' game or the girls' game? And I've heard two different answers. So, Mariah, in your opinion, did the 600th win come in y'all's game?
No, it was the boys' game.
Okay. All right, so that kind of clears it up. But how does it feel to be a part of a coach that he has been doing it so long, but has been so successful, and to get his 600th win? How does that feel, and what does Coach Guest mean to you?
It feels great having a coach that's so experienced and like he knows what he's doing, and he obviously knows what he's talking about. And as a coach, Coach Guest means a lot. He does more than just like coach soccer. He really tries to give you like life lessons that you can take along with you in life, and he really means a lot to us.
Well, Juan, kind of same thing to you. What has Coach Guest meant to you, your playing career, and then outside of soccer as well?
Coach Guest has been a big part of the way I play. He's helped me change my style to fit the team and just do what I need to do. And outside of soccer, he cares about all of his players, and he'll go with one-on-ones with the players and help them with whatever he can help them with. And he's a great coach and a great person.
Well, Juan, I'll stick with you then. I kind of want to know from a guy that you get to see him on the boys' side, and then I'm sure when the girls are practicing, you'll see it too, and y'all may even intermingle. Is there a difference in Coach Guest when he's dealing with the girls and the boys?
There could be. I mean, he's really goofy, and I'm sure Mariah will be able to tell us better about that than I will.
Well, Mariah, what's your opinion? Do you notice any difference of how he deals with the boys and how he deals with you? I'm sure no favoritism, but I just wonder if there's any difference in coaching styles when he swaps over.
There is a huge difference. Not really like coaching style wise, but I have noticed like watching the boys game, he will like yell at them more. And like, I get it, like girls can be sensitive sometimes, but most of us do play club soccer, so like we're used to getting yelled at, but he definitely yells at the boys more.
Well, that's one thing. So soccer was never my sport, and I kind of want to get with y'all. Club soccer, it's blowing up, especially here in North Texas. but this is something that's played year round and can kind of even over mingle with the high school season as well. Talk about that club experience and the differences between playing club soccer and playing regular school ball for your high school.
I would say club soccer is way more competitive. Um, I feel like club soccer is more serious. I know like when I come to high school, I can, joke around and have like more fun like with my friends and stuff. But I would say club soccer is definitely more competitive and more serious.
Do you have anything to add to that, Juan? Do you see any differences or similarities in club and high school?
For me, it's the opposite. Like I've always taken high school more seriously than club because like I feel like it just may depend on the level that you play it as because there's so many different divisions within like just club soccer. And I don't know. I feel like high school for us, it's faster and it's just, I guess it's also harder because of the weather because we don't play in the winter usually for club. And that's just a hard factor to get used to.
Well, I know I was a baseball guy and I feel like in there's select baseball everywhere now, kind of like club soccer. But I always felt like high school, like you were actually playing for something like a state championship. And while you played tournaments with select, and I'm sure you played tournaments with club, to me, it wasn't the same. I don't know if that resonates kind of with y'all. Like with school, you were playing for a ring, you're playing for something. And then with select, you're getting your reps, you're trying to get better. But at the end of the day, to me, it wasn't the same. Do you kind of see it the same way, Juan?
Yeah, because like I feel like because when we're playing, we represent our city as well. Because like we wear our badge and it's Midlothian High School and like club for the tournaments. At the end of the day, it was like a what now? With playoffs, we have something to prove our efforts.
Well, I want to ask, and I'll go to you, Mariah. For someone who plays soccer, and I'm going to assume is a fan of soccer. When you look, are you looking professionally for the ladies that you look up to? Is it the national team? What do you look at and say, that's what I strive to do, that's what I want to be a part of?
I definitely look at the women's national team a lot, but personally, I really like looking at like the European players and just soccer overseas because soccer overseas is so much more like developed than it is here in the U.S.
Well, Juan, I know when you look at the women's side of things, the USA is dominant for the national team. But then on the men's side, there's struggles. And then most of your great players end up going overseas. And so do you know why, maybe in your opinion, the difference is why the women have been so successful here, but for some reason the men have kind of floundered a little bit?
I feel like it may be just because of the way that there's a lot more sports that are shown like and pushed for like football and basketball for men and it's just not a priority like it is overseas because soccer is the biggest sport all around the world except for here in the US.
That makes sense. And so I got to ask Juan, I asked Mariah before we jumped on here, but she gave me an answer, but I got to know, since soccer plays in every kind of weather, did Coach Guest have y'all practice last week?
Oh, no. If it was up to him, we would have, but he couldn't because we could have get in trouble.
I was wondering if y'all are going to be out in the snow or ice or whatever running around. It seems like soccer players playing pretty much everything. So, but all right. Well, Mariah, both you, the men's and the women's, are in first place in district right now. Girls 8-3 overall, boys 8-6-2. You're in district, you're in first, but at the beginning of the season, it seems like Coach Guest has y'all in some pretty difficult tournaments and you play some pretty difficult teams, both sides. And so talk about the importance of getting out to these tough tournaments and tough games early in the year, preparing y'all for district play.
It's very important to play teams out of your district because we played a lot of teams from up north, and teams up north are like way more competitive than the southern teams. And so just playing teams like that, like with that speed of play and like the physicality level, really like prepares us for our district games.
Juan, kind of the same thing to you. You feel like those early season struggles, those tough games are beneficial for you down the road as you guys mow your way through district?
Yeah, I feel like it's everything. I remember when it was my first games on varsity and like in the minutes we would get, it's really important for like the newer players to get used to the new level of play, and it does really help us for this season.
Awesome. Well, I know you both kind of spoke about the up north where those teams are very competitive, but it seems like, especially with Coach Guest being in Ellis County now for a while and building these programs, it seems like soccer in this area is picking up. In y'all opinion, have you seen it grown, and is it leaps and bounds better than it was even when y'all were younger? And Mariah, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I think it's definitely grown a lot more. Like recently Midlothian, we built like that huge park, and I see like a lot of people over there playing soccer now, and just like didn't really see that a lot growing up, but I'd have to go like out of town, like way far, like up north just to play soccer, and now it's here locally.
Juan, what about you?
Yeah, there definitely has been a lot more people playing at the two soccer parks, and it has grown quite a bit, and it's nice to see.
Well, before I let you go, guys, Juan, what's kind of the expectations now? I know y'all are 4-0-1 in district, but still got a ways to go. You're in first place, but what's the expectation? Not only that coach sets upon y'all, but that you set upon yourselves and as a team kind of set a goal to achieve this year.
The expectation we have as a team is to continue to win and get as far as we can, but not like wins where we're passing by. To just dominate and play to the best of our ability, and just be a great team and have a great relationships amongst ourselves.
Awesome. Well, how about you, Mariah? What's the expectation for you ladies and y'all squad, and how do y'all see the season unfolding?
Well, last year's team set the bar pretty high, and I do realize that we're not last year's team, but honestly, just going out there and winning games as a team and just making it as far as we can, really.
Well, hopefully you'll get to do something last year's team didn't get to do and actually finish the season, which is looking that way, which is positive. And so, well, guys, I appreciate y'all letting me on. I know Tater always asks this question, so in honor of him, because he's out calling basketball right now, in honor of him, I'm going to ask, Mariah, I'll start with you. Who is the TikToker on the team that sits at the back of the bus, gets everybody riled up, have a good time? Who would that be?
I would say myself.
Was it you? Okay.
There's a lot of people on our team that are like that.
Awesome. Well, Juan, I don't know if guys TikTok or not, but who's the enthusiastic one on the boys squad? Who's the one getting everybody riled up, getting fired up before the games?
It's got to be Johnny Hill. He brings his speaker onto the bus and he'll start blasting just music, whatever genre anybody's feeling that day. He'll play Spanish music and dance, and he just brings the good energy.
Awesome. Well, guys, I know y'all play tomorrow night, correct, against Red Oak? Well, we wish y'all the best of luck. Go get them, and appreciate you taking time out of your evening to come on and speak with us. We're rooting for you, so go give them heck out there on the pitch.
Thank you for having us.
No problem.
Yeah,
And
thank
In
you.
Ellis County, there's only one place to go. Doe City Pizza and Burgers. But don't worry, they got you also covered on ice cream as well. All kinds of flavors made in-house, just specially for you. And toppings to boot, as many as you like. So count your blessings for Doe City Pizza and Burgers and those big old scoops the size of Texas. Made just the way you want. So head on down to Doe City, where the service and food are both delicious. Doe City Pizza and Burgers, located in Red Oak, Texas, right across from the high school. Come on down and try them. ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by both men's and women's Ferris Soccer's head coaches, Coach Eric Jimler and Coach Jeremy Padilla. Thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. Well, let's just talk about, the season thus far. I mean, y'all both got good records right now. The girls are 11-3-1, 3-2 in district. The boys are sitting 7-6-2 and 2-3 in district as the first round starts to go through. Coach Padilla, let's talk about the girls first. How excited are you about the way the season's gone for y'all so far?
I'm very happy with how the season's gone. I kind of felt that this year could be a big year for us, and it's kind of proven that. The girls have worked really hard. A lot of the girls who are seniors or even juniors right now on the team, they've been with me all 3 years that I've been here in Ferris, and they're just really excited about how this year's gone by. And we've even had some adversity. We've had a couple of injuries that have been plaguing us all year, but the girls have responded very well, and I'm very happy with where we are right now.
And Coach Jimler, what about you with the boys team?
We're feel like we have a little bit of a chip on our shoulder from last season. The way everything ended abruptly, we were set to make the playoffs. Right before the virus shut everything down. So I remind the kids of that often. And we try to just take everything a day at a time, a week at a time. And the exciting part about it is that I don't think we've peaked yet. So we haven't even got to our peak in our club.
Well, and Coach Padilla, Coach Jimler just mentioned the virus and getting shut down last year. But does that not make your players appreciate each one of these games even more this year?
Absolutely. I mean, kind of going off what Coach Chandler said, I think, not just us, obviously, but everyone whose seasons got shut down prematurely last year, kind of feel like, they came in this year to get everything going. And, last year for the girls, for our program, it was the first time we made the playoffs in 5 years, and we didn't play a game. And that's huge. And it's very disappointing for the 5 seniors who I had last year. So the girls this year, they're not taking anything for granted. And I think that's been a big reason of how we've responded this year.
And Coach Jimler, we talk about seniors and stuff. Who's that senior leadership for you that's really standing out in your mind?
This year I've got a young man named Luis Coronado. He's a senior, 2-year captain, 4-year varsity player. He's really somebody I know I can rely on to be kind of that extra coach on the field and that extra coach on the bus, and not only lead by what he says, but also by what he does. And I appreciate how he carries himself for this program to be a good asset to these younger kids.
And Coach Padilla, same thing to you. Who's that person that you rely on the field?
Well, I'm very blessed to have 9 seniors this year. And I got to start, of course, with someone who hopefully will be on here in a short while, Bailey Mann. She's our goalie, and she's really in charge of that defense. She's almost kind of going with what Coach Schindler said about Luis. She's very much a second coach out there on the field. She barks out directions. She makes sure the girls are listening to her. But I got a couple others. Graciela Gamino's one on the back line who's coming up well, and she's helping everyone out there. And even juniors, I got 2 juniors who are really good at, keeping everything on the field on the offensive side, especially Janet Osaweda and Jackie Lopez. They've been helping out a lot. So I feel like, with 9 seniors, we got the leadership there, but it also helps out that those juniors aren't afraid to step up either.
Goalie in the game, y'all seem to play pretty good defense and start shutting down some runs. How do you keep that goalies, your goalies in the game all the time?
Just practice and preparation throughout the week, I think, is the biggest thing. Because with the way soccer's formatted, we don't get timeouts like other sports. We get the halftime intermission to make any kind of corrections, and other than that, it's constantly moving and constantly changing. So we really have to identify the problems on film and things that we need to address during the week, so that going into the game, where our game plan is set and ready to go.
Well, before we get over to Bailey, I want to ask both y'all the same question. How great is it to be in a district like Ferris where you get so much support from the entire city? Coach Jimler?
I think it's fantastic. This is my 2nd year working in Ferris, and just the enthusiasm coming from all the different campuses on game days, and then all the little kids that come out to the games, or Some of our players' younger brothers are always asking, because I have the opportunity to work at elementary school during the day. So a lot of the little kids are asking, how's the soccer program going? And we just got a great group of administrators, and all of our fellow coaches are always asking and kind of giving us jabs about what's going on, how the program's going. They seem genuinely interested in what we're doing and wish for our best.
Well, Coach Padilla, anything else on that topic?
No, I agree. The support we get from, everyone in the town is just perfect. I mean, especially, when things are going good for whoever it is, it's nice to go into town and get asked about the team and just get asked about, the team when you're at work, when we're at school, when we're working, from other teachers and administrators and even just people who are coming in, it's really nice. And, my 3 years here at Ferris, I've been able to see that, and I've seen it grown too. Just the enthusiasm about all the sports teams has just been very, very good, and I'm happy to see that.
That's the thing about small town Texas sports, these towns rally around you. How great is it to see, based on what you both just said, how great is it to see these current high school players really kind of mentoring these young players that are there at the games and they're around the school district? Do y'all have anything like that y'all could share, Coach Timler?
It's a blessing. It's a blessing, 100%. I firmly believe you build a program from the Pee Wee to City League all the way up. And that's what we're really trying to get involvement. We had scheduled last year. It didn't work out just logistically, but we had scheduled a youth night where we were going to invite out all the kids from the Ferris youth organization to wear their jerseys and come have like a quick meet and greet with our varsity players and just have them excited to be future Yellow Jackets. And it's really neat to see the excitement that they have when we talk about it, and getting to have that hands-on, I think is big.
Well, and Coach Padilla, getting ladies into high school sports in Texas is kind of a hard thing. How much has that affected your program with these young ladies being these mentors?
It's been really truly a blessing. I mean, I've been very lucky to have, good numbers, been able to carry a JV and a varsity, which, some teams, especially some small town Texas teams, struggle with on the girls side. I mean, we have a few teams in our district who don't have JV girls teams, and, it can be kind of hard, but I've been blessed with, good numbers throughout, and sometimes it makes, the cut days a little harder, but I think it's also a good show of how hard these girls work for them to, come out and for them to want to represent Ferris and to want to be a part of this program and this team and this community.
Well, Coach Timler, where should we see where the boys team is headed this year? How do you think they're going to keep evolving? You said they haven't reached their peak yet. What should we expect from you?
So as it sits, we are currently holding down the 4th place spot, and there's only a matter of about 3 points that separates the second, third, and 4th place team. So if we have a busy week this week, we have 4 games due to cancellations from this past week from the weather. So we're looking to make a good hard push this week, and if we can come out after these 4 games with some positive games and some points, we have an opportunity to go from 4th to 2nd really quick. So I feel like we're definitely going to finish. I feel like in the top 4, we really got a good chance to make a push towards that 2-3 spot.
Coach Padilla, same thing to you on that.
Well, I think we're right in contention for a district championship. I mean, that was really a dream a couple of years ago when I first took this job, but the girls have worked really hard, and right now we're sitting tied for 2nd with Terrell, and our recent game, we were able to tie Maybank, who's currently in 1st, and that was a big deal. We lost in the shootout, but I think it showed our girls that we can compete with anybody in our district and hopefully anyone in the playoffs. All we got to do is get in and see what happens, and I'm very excited about that opportunity.
Well, you get that chance, I believe, tomorrow against Terrell, don't you?
Yes, sir. The girls are looking forward to it as well. They want that. I wasn't there for the first game. I had to go home for a funeral, but the girls are really excited to get that next chance to come back at them.
Awesome. Now we're going to be joined by Bailey Mann, goalie, 60-plus saves on the season, 651 goals against average. And not only that, but she scored 4 goals and has an assist. So, Bailey, what is driving you to have these kind of numbers thus far this year?
Just the team spirit that we have this year. It's definitely different than what it's been in the past. We really won it this year. Last year we had high hopes. We planned on going to the playoffs, and then it got taken away from us. So this year we plan on going to the playoffs, not first round, not second round, but we plan on, we want to get as far as we can.
Well, a lot of times, you got these preseason tournaments and stuff. I know y'all had a couple of things that you had going, but it's not like the bonding time is normal. What are some of the things that y'all are doing as players to get that bond together?
So I think we've done maybe 1 or 2 Zoom calls as a team. We had a team breakfast, socially distanced. We've gone on a couple team dinners, and most of it happens at practice. So that's where a big part of everything comes from.
Gotcha. Well, I know one of the things that's always been a favorite thing is the bus rides to and from games. So, and I'm going to throw this out to Coach Timler too, because maybe he can give us some insight on the boys. But from you, who's the person in the back of the bus doing the Zoom calls or getting the music going and getting everybody a little crazy before the game?
That's Emily. Emily Alfar. She always has her speaker, and she always is screaming or yelling or something.
Coach Timler, who do we got on the boys team in that back of that bus that's getting them all riled up?
They've kind of taken upon themselves to have the hierarchy in back. So our 5 seniors are typically in the back. On the trips to the games, we're try to preach, strictly business, but on the way back, it's time to have a little fun and get everybody involved.
There we go. Well, Bailey, having 9 seniors on the team, how great is that to have that bond with everybody?
I think it's probably what has pushed us so far this year. We know how to work with each other, and communication has been a really big part this year. Leading the juniors and the sophomores and even the freshmen that come on every so often, it really, we just push everybody together, and I think that's really important.
Well, we know that there's going to be some really good things from Ferris Soccer this year, both with the men's and the women's. We wish y'all the best of success, and hopefully we can get out there and get a couple of games on film for y'all and have some highlights to show everybody else how well Ferris knows how to play soccer. Well, thank y'all for joining us tonight, and we'll see you down the road, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sir, thank you very much.
We see the future in her. And as she grows, bonds are bigger. Lessons are learned. We plan for her future with those we trust. So when the day comes and she's ready to soar, she'll do it knowing there's always someone there. Pinnacle Bank, not just a bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.
All right, we are welcoming in Midlothian Softball. We got Bailey Hughes and then Coach Alex Lazoya. Coach Lazoya, going to start with you. You get to play a season, and it's looking like you're going to get to finish a season, which is about 100 times better than last year.
Yeah.
Sitting over this past year, how do you feel? How's it been different, and is it good to be out there, especially after missing another week because of snow and stuff?
It's been good. It was good to see the girls on Saturday. We had a joint practice with Coach Bradley and his girls from Heritage. It was good to see all the kids together. It was good to see them talking and smiling. I know it's been a tough week for a few of them, dealing with loss of power, loss of water, some home damage. But it's just one of those aspects of life. You just got to roll with it and find a way to adjust. But it's been great having the girls on the field. I feel we have a very special group. And it's just a matter of giving the opportunity to go out there and put it together. We made like everybody else in the state. We may not have had the full scrimmages or non-district games that we wanted to due to the weather, but we'll take advantage of what we got and go forth.
Well, Bailey, what's the atmosphere? What's the chemistry been like? You had a year off, not by anybody's choice. People have set rules in place, social distancing, all that, but you're getting out there, you're getting to practice, you're getting to play. What's it like in the locker room, and is it different than any years in the past?
So far, the feel with the team hasn't been that different. I feel like all us upperclassmen are teaching all the freshmen our customs, everything like that, our tradition. And while it has been very different with the mask enforcement, I feel like everybody's doing a good job so far. And all these freshmen are so sweet, and it's been great just getting to start our season with them.
Well, Coach Lazoya, talk a little about Bailey and then your senior leadership that you've got. She mentioned the freshman group and how they're starting to gel in. You got a good group of leaders over there?
We got a good bunch. I think the upperclassmen do a very good job of leading. They had the opportunity to learn from others ahead of them, from kids in the past. Bailey's that kind of kid that you don't want to give up, but you also know she's got to go on and do bigger and better things. And I know that's what's going to happen for her. As a freshman, you can see it. My mindset with a lot of these kids is you don't have to be the oldest to be the leader. As a freshman, she just had that. It was it. She had it. She carried herself that way and found her way through, earned the respect of her teammates, and then she's been very clutch for us on the field and off the field.
Well, Bailey, talk about getting to play out there. I know we were talking before we started recording about the turf and the benefits of that, especially with the weather we just had. How nice is it to get out there and have the facilities that you do have and be able to finally, like Coach said, get a full season under those new facilities?
It's been great. The turf field that we have is very nice, and it's been super convenient with rain and just any other kind of weather we have. I do occasionally miss a dirt field just for nostalgia's sake, but the turf is so much better. It's so amazing to finally get out there and be able to have a full season with these girls.
Well, Coach Lazoya, I know one thing in baseball, and I'm going to ask if it's the same for softball because I generally don't know, is early on in a season, the bats are a little dead, timing's trying to come around, pitching dominates a little bit more. And you've got outliers here and there. Is that kind of the same thing for softball? Does it take a while for the bats to get going, or is it more of when they hit the ground running, they're on point?
It's one of those things where I've gotten to the point now that these kids are playing year round. They go to their training, they go to their sessions, they go to their individual lessons, that it's just a matter of just managing reps. It's just a matter of just keeping them loose, keep them going. There really isn't no timing issue. These kids play all summer, all fall, take a little bit of a break, come back. And so the only real thing that becomes a little hiccup-ish is just trying to find that right group to gel, trying to find that group that's not going to have any hiccups and go out there and see who the starting group is. I mean, this year we're pretty deep at a lot of positions. We have a lot of kids that can play multiple positions. They're just very dynamic in what they can do. So it's fun making lineups. It's fun making a batting lineup, a defensive. We can put this kid here, we can put this there. And so, the kids are coming around, they swing it pretty well. And yeah, I'd be worried if they were just not doing anything. I'm not going to lie, the quarantine aspect of it, or the longest spring break we've ever had in our lives, was something I was like, are these kids going to get to play and do much? Thankfully, some of the kids got to go play with their summer teams, gave me a chance to go see them when they played locally. And so I know summer and fall, they're going out there and getting the reps. And so that's one where, for at least for our program in both the junior varsity and varsity level, a lot of the kids that stood out as far as where am I in one or the other, it's just a matter of how active have you been. And the kids have been very creative in finding ways to stay active.
Well, Bailey, I want to ask about getting to play summer ball or travel ball, and then also tying it into high school. Since you're playing almost year-round now, what are the differences when you go play on those competitive summer teams, and then the feel for doing that, and then the feel coming back and playing for your hometown, playing for your high school, and competing for a state championship?
Well, as far as summer ball goes, for the longest time, a lot of those summer leagues are focusing on getting kids recruited for college, and that's a lot of what my team was over the summer. And I guess the quarantine did benefit me a bit because I was able to work a lot more on my own and get myself ready for that summer season so I could go and get recruited by Lubbock Christian. But coming back to high school ball in this season, it feels a lot more relaxed, I guess. But also, I really want the state championship. I really want to go as far as we can. So it's mainly just we gotta get together as a team and just really work together and keep pushing ourselves throughout practice. That way we can go and be successful during our games and go as far as we can.
Awesome. Well, Coach Lazoria, I kind of got to ask you, because I've talked to baseball coaches about this at the high school level, and some of them, while summer ball is great for getting the reps, sometimes they'll get issues with kids either check in or check out, one or the other. They've got people telling them a bunch of different things that may contradict. What's your opinion? There's great benefits from it, but there's negatives with everything as well. What's your opinion on kids getting out there and playing year-round so much before they get to high school or even through high school?
You know, I mean, after I left, working and coaching in college, club ball was a big part of my life. It was a big part of what I did going through year-round. And it was, for me, it was year-round because I was coaching in high school and coaching in the summer. This was before I got married, before I had any kids. So to me, it was like, this is what I want to do. This is a lifestyle. And it was, I can see it to where now that I look back at it going, man, I felt that the way we did it and our teams coming up was our focus was more on development. Mm-hmm. We took the time to have practices where the kids were getting more individual or group attention. We never really had those big, long 4 to 6 hour practices, every other weekend just to go in there and just get the reps. I don't have anything negative to say about club ball because honestly, it has its benefits. There are a lot of guys out there that do the club scene and the select scene and the lessons and stuff on the side. And I talk to those guys all the time. There are a lot of our girls that I say, hey, there's this guy, and if you get a chance to go hit with them. There's a team that I want you to see if you can try to play on and go play on. For me, club has been a benefit. And like I said, some people might say different, saying it affects the culture, clash. In a way, I see it and I get it. The selfish aspect standpoint. Well, when you're putting that much time on the side on your own to go get yourself ready, yeah, you want to be a bit selfish. You want to put yourself in the spot to show off. And then the big thing when they get here to high school ball is to me, high school ball is the closest thing you'll compare to college. What are you like as a student athlete? What are you like waking up in the morning, going to school? What are you like going to the weight room? What are you like with your everyday, daily life, the pros and cons of being 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and it's just a matter of just like, oh, I just got to just show up this weekend and play. With high school, hey, I got to pass this test. Hey, I got to show up on time. Hey, I got to do this. Hey, I got to represent my school the best because honestly, that's what you're going to get to. So I got nothing negative about club ball. It was great for me. I think it's great for the kids that get to go out there and put this in the right spot. And I look forward to seeing these kids. I like going to go watch them play with their club teams.
I got to say that's kind of a new point that I've never heard brought up, especially when you're comparing the high school schedule to the college schedule, as far as you're going to school and then you're practicing and you're playing. I like that. And then I'm with you. I think the repetition, I think that helps. Kids are getting out there, getting the reps, and then they're getting better rather than just sitting at home.
Right.
But so Bailey, I want to know from your perspective as one of the athletes, what is it about Coach Lazoya that has helped you personally, maybe off the field, also helped you on the field, and what kind of culture has he established over there in Midlothian?
He has taught me so much throughout high school. And he and anyone else who knew me my freshman year can tell you that I am not the same person now as I was back then. He just is able to create such a family feel and a really just comfortable feel within the team while also still having us get our work done. And he's always been there for our girls. He's always been there for me. And he's honestly one of the best coaches that I've ever had the pleasure to know.
Awesome. Well, Coach Lazoya, what are the expectations for, I know you talked about you've got a good group, you've got the leaders, they work hard, but what are the expectations? And I'm not asking for a win total or a record, but in your mind, when you look and sit back at the end of the day, is it one of those things where as long as the girls show up every day, we're giving the best, we're okay? Or is it, and we've got to make the playoffs because I believe we've got that kind of squad?
You know, the last few years, we've always had the theme of, a month from now will be better. A month from now will be better. We get to that month, hey, let's look back. You've gotten better. A month from now, again, you'll get better. The goal for this group this year, I'm not gonna lie, it's a district title. I think last year's team was on pace to get a chance to go compete and get it. And it's no different with this group. I mean, we lost a very talented, very, very impactful 2020 class. And this freshman group that came in is going to make such a big impact to replace them. Some of our returners have matured and gotten better and just gotten reps to try to fill in some holes. And we're more athletic, I feel, than we've been in the past. Defensively, it's going to be tough to figure out who goes out there and who plays. Our immediate goal right now, besides the cliche day by day, I'm not going to lie, we're looking for a district title. Between COVID and who you can and cannot play, between weather, our original schedule had us lined up to play 33 games, 30 games, somewhere around there. And now we're, lost a week, lost scrimmages, lost a bunch of stuff. To us, the mindset's always been there are 12 games that matter, and that's those district games. We take care of those 12 games, we find ourselves to go, play in playoffs. And worst comes to worst, if it ends up being that we don't get that district title, we want to be in a shot to get as high as a seed as possible and move on from there. So, it'll hurt if we don't win district, but it's not going to be a disappointment because we just got to find a way to keep going forward.
Awesome. Well, Bailey, in honor of Tater, who couldn't join us, and I know he's a huge supporter of y'all, he always asks on the team, who is the biggest TikToker or who is the one riling everybody up on the back of the bus? Who is that for y'all squad?
For us, I'd have to say between Kylie Hoggett, Jordan Hill, and Erica, I don't remember her last name, but Erica, those three are always at the back of the bus. They have the music going. They're singing really loud, just getting us energized.
Awesome. Well, Coach Lazoya and Bailey, we appreciate you jumping on with us. I don't want to take up much more of your time. I can tell that the culture there is superb. It's not going to be outclassed anywhere across this county, and we can't wait to get out there and watch y'all play. And we are rooting for you, and we really do hope that y'all get that district championship, but not just that. We hope that bigger and shinier trophies are in y'all's future as well.
Thank you, sir.
And so y'all have a good evening, and we will talk to y'all later. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Thanks.